Was about 3 years old, I had like this natural sense of tempo or beat, and I got these pots and pans in the kitchen, and I just played them like a drum. And my parents kind of knew that I kind of had like music in my veins, I guess.
Oh,
And then they bought a piano for my
ah,
sister. She started taking lessons playing the piano, and I just listened to what she played, and I just played it back. What a lot of people don't know is I'm very, very nervous,
oh.
especially when I performed on The Voice.
Hmm.
Most people who saw me, they said, "You don't look nervous at all. You look so confident. I don't even know how you're like that." And I was like, I can't even tell you how nervous I was. I was kind of thinking to myself before I went on stage, I'm like, I just need one chair turn.
Hmm.
I'm nervous, but I'm just really good at hiding it, you know?
Uh, uh, just tell us about your journey as to how did you come for The Voice? Were you approached for the show or did you audition for it? How did this happen? Because you're relatively young and to get on The Voice in your early 20s is something that not many people have been able to achieve. So tell
Yeah.
us about it.
So, it all started when I started posting some singing covers on TikTok,
Hmm.
and they went really well. And one of them went viral, and I had someone reach out to me saying, "Hey, we're trying to find people to audition for The Voice,
Hmm.
and we were wondering if you wanted to." And I'm like, I wasn't really thinking about it, but I might as well give it a shot. And I sent them a few videos, did some interviews, and then they called me one day after I woke up from a nap, and they were like, "Hey, we want you to be on the show." And I'm like, "Let's go." So that's kind of how it started.
And for how long have you been singing? Were you a child artist? Do you come from a family where everybody is into music? And tell us about your music journey.
hmm So it's funny. My family, none of them are musicians.
Okay.
I, but I mean, my the people they do music here and there for fun, but none of them do it like
Mm.
professionally. None of
Mm,
them,
professionally, yeah.
yeah. So, um, when I was about 3 years old, I had like this natural sense of tempo or beat, and I got these pots and pans in the kitchen, and I just played them like a drum. And my parents kind of knew that I kind of had like music in my veins, I guess.
Oh,
And then they bought a piano for my
ah,
sister. She started taking lessons playing the piano, and I just listened to what she played, and I just played it back. I didn't start singing until I was a bit older, middle school, high
mm.
school. I performed at some talent shows here and there, but I didn't really like start seriously singing until uh, I don't know, probably like college.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So did you never feel nervous? Because I've seen many children who are good at singing, but whenever they're supposed to perform in front of a crowd in school competitions on stage, they have this very terrible stage fright that catches
Oh
up to
yeah.
them. Have you ever suffered from a stage fright or you were always very confident?
I am all what a lot of people don't know is I'm very, very nervous.
Oh.
Especially when I performed on The Voice.
Hmm.
Most people who saw me, they said, "You don't look nervous at all. You look so confident. I don't even know how you're like that." And I was like, I can't even tell you how nervous I was. But as a musician, most people know this, like most musicians know this, I mean, uh, you you learn how to deal with your stage fright. You learn how to like handle with the like deal with the nerves, and you know exactly like how to breathe, and like I jump up and down to kind of let the energy out, like I'm just like okay, and like I'm nervous, but I'm just really good at hiding it,
Oh.
I am very confident. It's like you got to be confident to get rid of those nerves. So.
So, did you have any special preparation before your blind audition? Because this was your first audition for The Voice, I suppose. And did you, like, this was, many people, they have come with previous auditions as well, so they know what to do next. So, like, what did you do specifically before your blind audition so that you could get through?
Yeah, so when I got the song, I knew immediately like I have to practice
Hmm.
hours a day because I really felt like before The Voice and like I release music and I'm an artist and I sing,
Hmm.
but I still had a lot to like my voice is improving every day. I'm working
Hmm.
very hard and I saw all these other amazing singers and I'm
Hmm.
just like, wow, if I want to keep up with these guys, I got to practice very hard. So I was just sitting in my hotel room like every single day, just
Hmm.
practicing the hardest parts over and over again, just running through the song as many times as I could. I just when like, other people when I could have been doing something else like hanging out with people or whatever, I was like, no, I gotta practice this song as hard as I can.
All right. And while you were there performing for the blind audition, and you cannot see the judges cannot see you.
Yeah.
And did you? ever get nervous? What if you don't get any of the judges to turn? What if
Mm,
you have to get back home and you not make it in the show? How did you
yeah.
deal with that? You said that you are nervous, but you don't look. So how did you manage
Yeah.
that?
Well, I was kind of thinking to myself before I went on stage, I'm like, I just need one chair turn.
Hmm.
I'm like, you got to go into it thinking you're gonna get a chair turn. So that's what I was thinking. I'm just like, I just need one and then I'm good. Um, and so I went on stage and in my mind I was thinking, man, like I wouldn't let it put me down. I would still do
Hmm.
music. I would still
Hmm.
do exactly what I'm doing. Um, but it would have been I know like I could say now like, oh, I would have been fine, but it
Hmm.
definitely would have been hard, knowing a lot of people who didn't get chair turns and they're amazing singers.
Hmm.
But they're all still working because they know like it might have just not been the right song or there's just teams that are being filled up quickly and they need a different type of voice. Um, so I was just feeling like if I don't get a chair turn, I'll be okay, but I would really just like one. So
That's so. How did you feel when the chair finally turned to you? Were you overjoyed, or I mean, definitely you must have been overjoyed. So, how did you feel at that moment?
you can see when you watch the video of me during my blind audition, just the biggest smile on my face when Snoop Dogg turns around. I'm like, what the heck? Because he turned fast.
Oh.
Like very fast, and I was just
Hmm.
not expecting him to turn in like the first 20 seconds. And you just gotta like contain it because if you get too excited, then you can just start messing up.
Your
And
song, yeah.
then towards the end of the song, when all the coaches turned, um, the crowd was so loud I could barely even hear myself, and I was just kind of like, whatever. I kind of was just like singing. I was just going off of muscle memory because I could barely even hear myself.
So you were just expecting one of the judges to turn, but you had like all three of them turning to you, and that must have felt very
Yeah.
amazing there. And
So
yeah, continue.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, no. You were relatively a very young artist on the show, and there are people who have had a much longer music career. Did you ever feel nervous, intimidated by them? Like, how do I compete with these? And
Yeah.
or were you very confident?
Yeah, it's exactly like I said earlier. Like I hear these other people singing, they're like very like
Hmm.
powerhouse singers, and they're amazing. Like everyone is good. Like everyone is outstanding, and I hear them sing, and I'm just like, wow. Again, I just got to practice really, really hard to keep up with these guys. I gotta like stay in my room and practice
Hmm.
when like no one else is, or I just got to be doing the work that no one else wants to do.
So, is there any special music routine practice that you follow that you make sure that you're always doing so that your singing remains the way you expect it?
Yeah, I always need to do vocal warm-ups because if you
Hmm.
don't, um, there might be a high note that you just aren't ready for, and your voice will crack, or you just are barely below the note. So I always do vocal warm-ups before I sing, before a big performance, because if you don't, then it's just like anything. It's like with sports. It's like, you always see the players warming up on the court or the field or whatever. Like it's the same thing with singing, and so I just always got to warm up my voice.
That's good. And how did you interact with all the artists behind the stage? Because I was going through your Instagram and you have had this collaboration with Liam and Kyle,
Mhm.
and you're all
Yeah.
like singing together, you're playing the
Yeah.
piano and everything. So how was the interaction with them? Did you also practice
Yeah.
your music
Oh,
and
yeah. I made best friends for life.
oh.
Liam, I would say is one of my closest friends. Like we
Hmm.
talk on the phone every day.
Oh.
Um, I mean, that was a trip to Nashville that we took just for fun, just to see because we all missed each other. These are
Oh.
my great friends, Aiden Ross, Liam,
Hmm.
Peyton, Kyle,
Ethan
all
Kyle.
these amazing people, and there's many more. Like I'm never gonna lose that. That was one of the best parts about this show is becoming friends with these people.
That's good. And while you were preparing for the knockouts, how did you feel there that there was one of them who would be eliminated? And like, how did you overcome the sheer nervousness during the knockouts?
Well, the knockout rounds, I went in with the mindset of I've made it this far already, and it is very rare to make it this far. So I was just thinking, no matter what happens, I did the best I could, and I'm just happy I made it this far. So that's how I kind of dealt with my nerves. Plus, I was performing with a friend, Max Chambers,
Mm.
good dude, and I was like, I would just be so happy if he makes it through.
And how did you take your elimination round? Were you heartbroken? Definitely
You
heartbroken,
know,
but how did you come
yeah.
with it?
Well, you tell yourself, oh, I'm not going to be sad. I made it this far. Like I'll be okay. But I mean, obviously, I was a little sad. I mean, I wanted to stay and you know make music with my friends. I didn't want to
Mm-hmm.
leave. But at the same time, I'm like, this isn't the end of my journey. There's so much
Hmm.
I'm about to do. I'm about to put a band together. We're about to go on tour.
Oh.
I'm going to release tons of music, um, things like that.
And like when you got eliminated at the show and you realized that this is where you won't be able to continue further, did you have any sort of a regret that maybe if I performed differently, or maybe there's some notes that I did differently, I could have gotten ahead, or were you absolutely satisfied with your performance?
I'm satisfied. I have no regrets at all. I mean, especially after it aired, and a lot of people were just like, it's so beautiful. That was his best performance. I was just thinking I did the best I could, and I'm very happy with it. I poured my heart into it, just sang with emotion, and that's what a lot of people like to hear.
That's really nice. And a lot of people who are very young at singing, very young artists, or irrespective of their age, they are very fearful of how to handle rejections.
Mm.
It could be because if you're an artist, you get rejected a lot more than normal people do. So, what would you want to suggest to them? How do you deal with rejections, and how do you not let it, burden you?
Um, I am I always think music is like subjective. So if someone doesn't like
Hmm.
it, someone else will. Like,
Hmm.
it's one of those things where it's like you have more supporters than you do haters. And
Absolutely.
um, I deal with it by just saying I'm not bad at all. I just have a lot of work to do.
Hmm.
I take it as a good thing because I'm just like, okay, I just got to work even harder this time. I just got to, like I auditioned for American Idol before The Voice,
Hmm.
and I got cut. And I took that
Oh.
pretty hard, honestly. I was
Okay.
thinking like, oh man, I'm not a great singer. But
Hmm.
honestly, it just pushed me. And if I didn't get cut from American Idol, I don't think I would have made it to The Voice.
That's very good to know. And how has the fan interaction changed after you appeared at The Voice? You have almost more than 20K followers on Instagram. You're active on TikTok. So how
Mhm.
are people interacting with you now? How is it different from it was before you went on the show?
Well, the coolest thing is people now know me as an
Oh,
artist. They
okay.
they don't just know me as like this guy who auditioned for The Voice. I
Mm,
mean, they like me as like they like my personality. They want to know more about me, which is what like you want from your favorite artist. I mean, when I look at one of my favorite artists, I want to know more about them. I don't like just listen to their music. And so people are following me and I can post more personal things like me hanging out with my dog or me going to the gym or just my daily life. And now everyone gets to see that. And I think that's one of my favorite parts about, gaining these new followers is they can see what I do on a
mm.
day-to-day basis.
And definitely, with a lot of followers comes a lot of love, but then there is always this unnecessary sense of criticism and trolling that comes, especially with the age of social media. People are just too confident to write anything there.
Yeah.
So, do you get affected by it, or you absolutely ignore them?
I ignore it. I mean, and when I do read it, I'm just like, man, this guy's just sitting behind his phone screen, like everyone gets it. And I'm just like, it's okay because I see way more positive comments than hate comments.
Hmm.
Hate comments don't matter at all. Like, I don't even read them anymore. Not because it's just a waste of time. It's like, what's the point, you know? So, yeah.
That's true. And what's a favorite? How do you define your music style? Have you a specific genre that you always want to sing, or are you open to collaborating with everything and mixing together? How is
Yeah.
your music style? You could just let us know.
Well, I'm very just like I'm a pop artist, but like I
Hmm.
told like all the coaches during my first round, I said I love pop music, but I love adding jazz elements to it. So I'm releasing Cooler Than Me very soon, my blind audition on all
Hmm.
platforms. And it's a lot like the blind audition that you heard, where it was a pop song, but it was like I made it more like a jazz standard, but it's mostly the full song. So I just love doing that. I love playing pop songs, but I love adding seventh chords, ninth chords, these things that you wouldn't hear in a normal pop song.
Oh,
But
and mhm.
sorry, one more thing. I
Yeah,
also I
definitely.
I love all genres really.
Okay.
Like, but pop is like my main thing, but I'm inspired by all genres.
All right. So, who are your favorite pop artists? People you take a lot of inspiration from, if you could elaborate on that.
So I love Stevie Wonder, Billy Joel, Elton John when it comes to like some great piano artists. Some artists I love today, like Harry Styles. I love Andy Grammer.
Hmm.
These are just I love their voices and I love kind of I don't try to sing like them. I
Hmm.
sound like myself.
Hmm.
But I love like their pop style and I love kind of combining that old like jazz style that Billy Joel kind of has. Like that's one of the best ways I can describe it. Is like
Hmm.
my modern sounding voice with like some old school pop or jazz or yeah.
Okay. And you have been on the show where you had such phenomenal, famous singers out there. So, what are this piece of advice that you took from your mentors that you're gonna keep applying to your music journey ever now?
Something that Michael said was the song didn't take over Max, but Max
Took
bent
over
the
the song.
song to his
Okay.
own will. Like
Hmm.
I took every song that I did on the show and I made it my own because everyone has heard a cover of every song ever.
Hmm.
Everyone has heard a song
Hmm.
of All of Me by John Legend, but no
Hmm.
one has heard it in a very jazzy style. You got to
Hmm.
take cover. That's the thing, in my opinion. You take a cover and you make it sound similar enough to pe where people know it's the same song, but they know it's you. Like that is
Hmm.
you. That is your own. That is your own artist, your own artistry, your own identity. And when they listen to it, they're like, "That's Max Cooper, the
Oh,
third."
well, that's really good to say. And while talking about the advice that you took from them, and what is this new advice that you would like to give to new singers to improve their singing or to
Yeah.
howsoever they are evolving their music journey? What would you have to tell to them?
I would have to say it is a long process. The voice is everyone has that instrument.
Mm,
But my advice is just to keep working at it. I know it's kind of basic advice.
mm,
Something else, warm up your voice every day.
mm,
Even if you're not planning on singing that day, even if you don't plan on practicing that day, just go to a YouTube video, look up
mm,
vocal warm-ups and
mm,
like watch a 10-minute video, just warm up your voice. Just do
mm,
that every day because you don't want to lose all the progress you've made. That's the worst. Like you go to a vocal lesson, you don't practice that whole week, and next week you just got to relearn.
mm.
You got to practice every day, every
Oh,
single day, and good practice too.
so every single day you improve as a singer is what you want to
Yeah.
imply that, yeah, so that's very nice. And do you plan on having a band because you play lovely piano and you collaborate amazingly with all these artists? So do you plan on having a band or are you planning on perform solo?
Yes.
So
I absolutely plan on having a band. Actually we're gonna be jamming out with a few people today. Yeah, I mean, I want just like a basic, like, drums, bass, guitar,
mm,
key. I'm very excited because yes, my team, we're putting together a band. We're gonna play on tour, gonna release music. And I just want people to be on the lookout for that.
that's nice. And has there been any difference in the way audience listens to your song while you're performing them live for your live audience, like on your open gigs or while you're on your tours, compared to how you perform when you have an international audience in front of you at the stage, like The Voice? Or do you do the same with everything?
I was very blessed on The Voice that they were able to that they allowed me to open up the song, let me add my own twist on it. I'm gonna do that with like every song that I have. Like I'm gonna make it my own. If I did end up playing Cooler Than Me on tour with my band, it
Hmm.
wouldn't just be the 1 minute 30 seconds that you heard on The Voice. We're gonna show you everything that we can do. I'm gonna show you what makes me me.
That's nice. And how does your future music journey now look like? Now, do you have been at The Voice? And I'm pretty sure the opportunities that you might be getting post The Voice
Mhm.
might be different from what you had before. So, what are the new
Yeah.
opportunities that you've been getting after getting recognition from The Voice?
A lot of people want me to sing on their tracks, which is really cool.
Mm,
A lot of people are reaching out just with these great opportunities, sponsorships,
mm,
just new things that I wouldn't have thought of before, and it's awesome. And uh, More people wanted to join my band as well and like jam out with
mm,
me. It's something that I love. It's just playing with really good musicians. And now that they saw me on The Voice, they're like, "Oh man, I want to play with this guy." And I'm just like, "Well, I want to play with you too. You're awesome." So,
That's
yeah.
that's very good to know. So, what next is on your plate when it comes to music?
So like I said, we're putting together a band because we
Hmm.
plan on doing shows as soon as possible.
Hmm.
So I want, whoever's listening, be on the lookout because we're going to be playing shows very soon. Cooler Than Me, my blind audition song will be out very, very, very soon.
Hmm.
So excited about that. But also not just that, but we're going to do another, we're probably going to do a cover, and this isn't 100%, but we might do a cover of
Hmm.
my knockout music, and I'm coming up with a full length album right now. Um, so yeah, we would love to go on tour and come to India at some point too. That would be
That's very
sweet.
lovely.
That would
And
be so,
oh,
that's the dream, you know? That's the
and I wish
dream.
you all the best that your dream gets fulfilled. And Max, since you are in your early 20s, this is also a phase where music industry has been seeing an influx of AI. So a lot of people I've seen on social media be like, oh, even AI can sing. What's a big deal? Even AI can write a song. What's a big deal about it? So what do you have to say to those who think that AI will take over artists?
Well, AI will never be human. When
Hmm.
people go to a concert, they're not wanting to go watch a screen or like
Hmm.
a robot. They want to
Hmm.
go watch a human being. People like music that relates to them. And that's why AI will never take over music. Maybe AI can make like background music, but it won't have that human emotion that someone else could put in, you know? So that's
That's
what I have to
very
say
it's,
on that.
that's very good. And Max, it was such a lovely having this talk with you. And
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
I wish you all the best. And looking up to
Thank
your
you.
album coming up, looking up to your band coming up, and all these lovely collaborations that you're putting on your social media platform. And yeah, thank you for having this conversation
Yeah.
with us.
Thank
And have a nice day.
Thank you so much. You have a great one. Thank you.